We're here at Fort Mill Ridge outside of Romney, West Virginia. And the 54th would have arrived in this area in the early spring of 1863. So Colonel Campbell took further measures to secure his camps in the area around Romney. He ordered the construction of a fort atop Mill Ridge on the opposite side of the Northwest Turnpike from the camps. From this position, Federal artillery could shield the turnpike and the B&O Railroad from any Confederate incursion through the Mechanicsburg Gap. And if you look directly in front of us, you can see a little bit of the Mechanicsburg Gap. Of course, a lot of these trees would not have been up here. The top of Fort Mill Ridge would have been pretty much cleared of all of these trees, but you can still see the edges of the two mountains that make the Mechanicsburg Gap ahead of us there. Work started on the fort on March 17th, 1863, when fatigue parties from the 54th Pennsylvania started cutting an access road up the steep mountainside. Private John Hammer wrote, "On duty, making road on the side of the mountain." Once the work parties completed the road, the cannoneers of Battery E, 1st West Virginia Artillery, who were attached to Colonel Campbell's brigade, hauled their guns to the top of Mill Ridge. Corporal Jonas Kaufman commented in his diary, "The artillery was located on the hill just west of camp. Companies from the 54th Pennsylvania and 1st West Virginia worked and took turns guarding the battery and working on the fort throughout June of 1863. When they finished, Fort Mill Ridge contained a central square-shaped redoubt, which is behind us. So the redoubt would have been behind us right there for the artillery, surrounded by a line of exterior earthen entrenchments. And you can actually still see some of the entrenchments outside of the redoubt today that they would have defended with infantry. There also would have been protected pathways that would have connected the entrenchments back to the redoubt itself. The Union forces occupying Fort Mill Ridge not only protected the Mechanicsburg Gap, but also the Federal camp at the bottom of the ridge from any surprise Confederate attacks. By the middle of April, the men had constructed a stone bridge across Mill Creek, connecting the camps with the access road to the fort, and also started to expand the outer defensive line, which is a little bit harder to see, but you can see the remnants of some of the outer defensive line just about 10 yards in front of us here. So this is Fort Mill Ridge outside of Romney, West Virginia. And thank you for watching this episode of In the Footsteps of the 54th.